Welcome back to another episode of Tides of Change. Each video takes a dozen hours to bring to life, so it would really help the channel if you could leave a like. And remember, members get early access to the next episode. Now then, back to the story. The demon has been slayed. Zenai cooked it pretty good. Well done. It's very well done. It's a lump of charcoal outside the edge of town. The body is still there. So if any of you are curious about it, you can go and investigate it. However, there is a town that has several destroyed buildings and is on fire. Currently, Laura, the mayor of the town, the Cathrope, she fell over when she got knocked by the demon as well with the group. So she's a little bit stunned at the moment. Dr. Wolfenstein is also was knocked out, and Spira used some smelling salt. Zenai almost attacked Spira, realized that Spira was touched by a plague wraith, not a devil or a demon. So that's where we ended off. You guys are in the middle of a partially wrecked town. Zenai actually walks up to the rest of you. So she turns her back to Spira and walks towards the three of you, and she nods towards Hyacinth and is just like, good lightning you had there. Needs a little work, but nicely done. I mean, it's kind of her thing.
Highest compliment.
Hyacinth is like awestruck. She's like,
so then, can I inquire as to what this group for lack of a better word, this menagerie of a group is doing here in the town of Oppa? She looks specifically at Nyx and Sylaris, because seeing a Kitsune and an abyssal next to each other is not something even she's seen in all her years. Very curious about this.
I'm just here to see the world a little bit more. You know, I've been isolated mostly on my island, so I wanted to see what's out there.
Yes, we just happened to meet.
Yeah.
Just happened to meet. Huh? Okay, I see how you guys are going to do this. Okay. She's like, well, we shouldn't really be standing around while there's fires and stuff rampaging. So are you going to help me fix this town, or are you heading on your way? As she immediately starts to head towards Laura.
Miss Zenai, I can buff you to give you more strength.
What's your name?
My name's Hyacinth, ma'am.
Hyacinth, you seem like a sweet little fae, but trust me when I say you would not want to sit on my shoulder. Things get a little electric, a little frozen.
I'm good at weather. I can handle it.
I wouldn't want to put your life at risk just to test that theory. However, and she lifts up Laura with one arm, she effortlessly pulls up Laura to her feet and pats off her shoulders to get some sense back into her. She's like, Laura. And Laura is like, oh, Zenai, the town. There was a monster, a demon. And Zenai's like, I know, it's been taken care of. However, the townspeople need you. And Laura stutters forward and is like, yes, right, the townspeople. And she runs off towards the rest of the town to rally people together, because there are a few fires burning. So Zenai is basically sent off Laura. Dr. Wolfenstein is also trying to get to his feet. Spira, what do? You can see he's trying to also get up.
I help him up, and I also just hold my arm under his under his arm and over his back to just prop him up a bit more.
Well, Laura, wait, Laura. Okay, Spira, dear, Spira, can you help me search the wreckages? There might be some more people inside. Maybe if you can fly from above, and I'll look around on the ground. If you find anybody, let me know, and the two of us, we can make them we can put them back together. As he starts hobbling towards one of the wrecked houses.
Yeah, of course. Are you sure you can do this?
This is what I live for, dear.
Okay. She looks a bit worried, but she takes off.
I think I will just stay away from the fire. I am not good with fire.
Hyacinth, give me a resolve roll.
What?
You're a moth, and there's fire, so give me a resolve roll.
I was gonna say, well, Hyacinth can go use her rain green. But yeah, you're right.
Come on, first roll of the session.
Oh my god! Fire!
Oh my god!
Sylaris, okay, everybody else, give me perception rolls.
Wait, but it adds.
Oh my god!
It's a crit fail. A crit fail. The stats don't really matter after that. Okay. Everybody notices that the moth is starting to drift towards the flame against their own will.
I reach out to her with one of my tentacles and just hold her back.
Zenai actually giggles a bit when she sees everybody suddenly turn around to try to save them. It's so out of character, but she actually giggles a bit, which turns into a full belly laugh. And At this point, she actually starts unbuttoning her coat. And she takes off her coat and lays it down on the side there. She's wearing a short tank top underneath. What you guys see is that all of her torso and her arms up to her wrist, so up to her sleeve, is covered in tattoos and scars, but shaped in an unusual way. So it's scarification and tattoos that forms like these geometric patterns all over her torso and arms. You wouldn't have noticed this before because she was wearing a full-length coat. So she heads forward and walks towards the fire, opens up all 4 of her wings, and immediately snuffs out the flames by absorbing the energy from the air around it. You guys all feel the temperature of the air immediately drop when she does this.
Oh, it's so cold.
Yeah, she starts going forward and lifting up logs, the fallen over logs and timber and such. So that's why she took off her coat, is that she doesn't want to rip her clothes while doing manual labor. So she's picking up entire tree logs with her bare hands. Just yeeting them.
So cold.
Oh my gosh, I wish to be a warrior like she.
So then, do you guys want to help?
What can I do?
You can actually help Spira with looking for people that might be trapped in the wreckage. So Spira and Hyacinth, give me perception rolls. Nice. Remember, you get bonus to your stats as well if you have bonus perception. But I think you guys are doing well. Like each of you find some people that are trapped under. So Hyacinth, you find a small child who was in the basement of one of the houses. So you were able to flitter through the wreckage and go down towards the basement, and you see a small child under there. Spira, you from above, you were able to see a elderly lady who was pinned down. She couldn't get out of the house in time, so a log has fallen on her leg. Hyacinth, you can come back up and let everybody know about the child, and likewise Spira.
Found a child. I can't get them. No, everything's too heavy.
Don't worry, I'll go help you get the child.
I will also go and help.
Which one do you want to help?
First, can I lift the log
Which
by
one?
You
myself?
can try. Give me a strength roll. You do manage to lift it just enough for them to slide their leg out, and you drop it immediately afterwards. So you break the free. Zenai will go for the old lady. Hyacinth, you can use your serenade to help boost the strength of either Sylaris or Nyx. So take your pick. Sylaris and Nyx, use your strength. Your strength rolls.
I have better trust in Sylaris, so.
Are you sure you trust my dice rolls more?
To be fair, we were the ones. We already pretty much made contract with.
Yes.
We already made trust with each other. So.
Story-wise, yes, it makes sense.
Yeah, the 2 of you make short work of the wreckage. With the 3 of you combined, the clearing is made and the child is rescued. Uninjured, scared, somewhat frightened, but by the sight of an abyssal. However, seeing a fae sitting happily on their shoulders with a smile on her face is enough to calm the child. It's crying.
Duo.
You see Zenai is carrying the injured granny, and Dr. Wolfenstein is rushed over. Spira and Dr. Wolfenstein can treat the granny. The child also runs over and is like, Grandma, Grandma, Grandma.
Oh.
The child is terrified because the grandmother's been injured. And yeah, Spira, give me some apothecary rolls. Add your intelligence.
That is plus 11.
Very nice.
I'm starting to have high numbers. I like it.
Yep, and Wolfenstein also got plus 10 as well. So, yep, 23 plus 29. Very nice. Okay, yep, this granny, she's patched up pretty quickly. She'll make a very speedy recovery thanks to...
Granny has been healed.
You guys did incredibly well on dealing with the wreckages. I'm just going to speed up time a little bit here. So you spend the rest of the day helping Zenai, actually putting out fires, clearing out wreckages, making sure the town is okay. The rest of the town also shows up to help. You see even Jareth from the ship, the vice captain, he comes by to find out what's happening, and then he returns with Hendrik and the rest of the crew. So even the crew who was supposed to be leaving comes by to help put the town back together.
We love that crew.
Oh, everybody's helping.
Yeah, they're going to be late for their voyage, but helping the town is more important. So
Oh, good doggos.
you even see in the kitchens Roderick helping make some food. He gives a little wave at Sylaris.
Good
but
food?
I should say it's his first time cooking, but he's trying.
Oh no!
He made something for Sylaris, but it got burnt.
You see Loktau and Prot are also amongst the helpers. They are already laying the foundations for a new house. So Prot was the blacksmith and Loktau was the Sonwu who you sold the Kilrathi horns to. Loktau was very old, so he's rather just directing people and trying to make things run smoother, whereas Prot, being a blacksmith, is a very strong guy, so he's helping lay down foundations for the new homes for the granny and child in particular, so they can get a new home as soon as possible.
Damn, they're already laying down foundation? That's quick.
This is a very busy town. It's a trading town, so they can't afford to be closed for business for too long. So yep, they recover quickly. Aura seems to also stabilize a little bit from the initial shock of it. And you see her and Zenai are talking in private, and neither are particularly happy about this. Once the sun is set for the day, the whole town comes together to enjoy a group meal. It's to mourn the loss of Dr. Sue, the one who turned into a demon. You guys notice that most what's being told around town is not exactly true. Word is going around that the creature, the monster that attacked, killed Dr. Sue in the incident rather than it being Dr. Sue itself. And that is a bit strange. You may ask about this if you want for those who were there to witness it, why this rumor is going on, but that's entirely up to you. And yeah, so you guys are enjoying the meal cooked by the ship crew and Roderick. Everybody is eating. Some people are complaining about the lack of flavor. It's mostly
No one touch Rude. I don't trust it.
He's trying to help. He's not really built for manual labor, so he thought he could help cook. So he put meat in water, and that cooks, right?
Oh my god.
It's a very bland stew. Some of the other Thrope came to his aid and like help spice things up a bit. But yeah, the four of you are enjoying a meal. Most people are taking their turns to thank Zenai for saving them, but then also giving Mayor Laura for the loss of Dr. Sue. You see Zenai is a bit pained by this. Every time somebody thanks her, she feels, you can see that her body language closes off a little bit. It's not obvious, but it's very subtle. And I'll let the four of you pick up on this over the course, because it happens over and over and over and over and over, where she doesn't actually like being praised that much for it.
I think Zenai feels guilty for what happened.
Not her fault. She did her best.
Not everyone knows, you know? I mean, to them, she's a hero, but she still had to kill someone.
And I also think that she feels a bit responsible because the demons wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for her either.
Town mayor, he takes a seat next to you guys, and she overheard what you were saying. Zenai and I agreed to describe what attacked us as a monster, and Dr. Wolfenstein also agreed that this was for the best. The last thing we want to happen to this town is for everybody to think that a devil's work is taking place. It's difficult enough as it is being one of the only Thrope villages in the area. If we start fearing and mistrusting each other, the town will fall apart in no time. So we decided that it was for the best interest of the whole town to rather let this be a once-off incident. Zenai already expressed the guilt that she has felt for causing this.
Yeah, and it's also the sense of remembering Doctor for the good thing and not the bad.
She's like, so yes, please. I told everybody about how you also participated in the battle with the monster. Yes, everybody in the town seems to have appreciated your help as well throughout the day as well. So the four of you are welcome here. The ship's crew already spoke highly of you beforehand, but now nobody has a doubt. The four of you are welcome to stay here, live here if you want, she says. She grabs her bowl of food and starts heading over to the next table. You guys have been accepted.
Yeah.
You saved the child and the granny.
We distracted the monster a bit.
A bit.
We distracted it enough for Zenai to come
Literal
in.
bait.
Oh yeah, one of us also almost got eaten.
While the four of you are enjoying the meal and chatting about this, Zenai joins you now. And you can see that she's relieved that most of the people in the town have stopped approaching her with their praise and thanks.
Thank you, Zenai.
Who said that? So she looks at the group. She grabbed one of the tankards of beer that Prot was handing out, and she downs the entire 1 liter flask of beer. She just downs it and slams it on the table. It's just like, yeah, she's still in her tank top, so her tattoos and scarification is still revealed. You notice that there's 2 types of scars on her body. She has the scarification patterns, but then also battle scars on top of that. Give me perception rolls, everyone.
Oh my god, these rolls!
Nyx, You notice. You notice.
7 with the +5 modifier.
Okay, Nix
Oh
and
my
Sylaris. You notice that due to the you know what, Spira, why was it a crit fail? You're the doctor. Okay, so scars tend to fade. They tend to turn white over time. So fresh scars are usually pinkish, and then over time they turn white. So all of these scarification marks are very pale. So they've been there for a long time. However, where there's intersections with battle scars on top of that, the cross points between the two types of scars, between the battle scars and the scarification ones, there's a pink hue, which indicate that Zenai remade the scarification lines on top of the battle scars. So whenever she gets a battle scar, she has to repair the damage to the pattern. Yeah, I will give you a hint. This is part of the magic system that she is using, which makes her so freaking broken.
This makes her even more
It
badass.
sucks though every time she gets a battle wound though.
Damn it.
Yeah, gotta reapply the knife again. Anyway, she digs into the meal, she's drinking, and you can see that she's focusing on stuffing her face. I say that, but she's controlled in the sense that it's not lack of table manners. It's just that she's wolfing this food down. Also, heads up, she's not very tall. She's about 5 foot tall, which is very tall for a seraph. Seraphs are very short humanly. So Zenai is quite tall for a seraph, but is very small compared to the rest of you.
She has a grim-like energy.
She is just drinking and eating at a rate that you wouldn't expect for someone like this. She, after finally downing her 3rd flask of beer, you can see that it's finally starting to take a bit of an effect on her. She's had almost 3 liters of beer now. And she looks at you guys and is just like, I'm still really curious about how a Fae, a Pegasus, an abyssal, and a Kitsune wind up in this town when the same day that a demon shows up. It's almost as if you might be working with the devils. Hyacinth, your wings and antenna twitch uncontrollably when you hear that. Like,
How dare you think I'm with the devil?
She
You
not-
don't know me. You
No.
don't know my people.
oh, I know your people, all right, and I know that you. Out of all of them here, you're the only one who wouldn't. But Hyacinth, trust me when I say the devils are not so straightforward. You might be part of their plots, even if you're not aware of it.
Trust me, I'm not.
The circumstantial evidence says otherwise. A demon showing up on the same day as the 4 of you is far too coincidental, which is why the 4 of you have caught my attention. She grabs a loaf of bread and starts eating on it. How do the other 3 of you respond to this?
Do you think I would work with a devil, let alone a...
Yeah, trust me, it's completely accidental that we met.
You know that I met a plague wraith. I am not a fan of them.
Yes, that's kind of the problem, Spira. The plague wraiths are not exactly a very common entity in Sorors. Usually they result during a famine. Can you tell me the story of what happened?
I am not sure that it is my story to tell.
Well, as I mentioned shortly after the battle, the demons seem to be pale imitations of wraith. Devils have been trying to figure out counters to me. So finding someone who was touched by a plague wraith on the same day that a demon shows up. Again, I'm feeling these threads. My gut is telling me that the 4 of you are far more interconnected than you might even realize.
You are trying to find a way to deal with the demons. I am trying to find a way to deal with the wraiths.
Well, let's see here. The Fae have always had beef with the devils. And the plague wraiths, well, they're not exactly my specialty, I'll admit that. My specialty is more of the combat kind. I do know a specialist, she mutters to herself. The way that she says that, there's mixed feelings in her voice when she says that. She says, a Kitsune away from home is always in need of friends because, well, you're a frog that's left its pond, to be honest. Sorors is a big place, and your kind have not really bothered to learn about the rest of the world. You're kind of stumbling in the dark here. As for you, and she looks at Sylaris, an abyssal out of water. If the Kitsune is a frog that's left its pond, what could I use to describe an abyssal on land? This is most peculiar of all. Out of the 4 of you, this one has definitely caught my eye. Why has an abyssal left the bottom of the ocean to walk on land and meet a demon? My child, do you by any chance come from Vergul?
No, I'm not.
About 100 years ago, I killed a devil in Vergul. It was not easy fighting underwater, I'll let you know that. And I never actually figured out what she was doing down there. She takes another sip of her drink. Devil, not a demon, a devil. She actually killed a devil in Vergul. That was one of the mysteries I never got to solve. You're actually one of the first abyssal I've gotten to chat with that wasn't trying to murder me while I was fighting a devil in their town. Vergul, by the way, is one of the military cities, so you would know that it's hacked. You're one of the few times I've actually been able to have a decent conversation with.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what I can say and what I can't say, because there are others here. Yeah, I would just say that, as you know, the abyssals are very secluded, so our leaders decided to have connections with other species. So they sent me as an exchange student to represent the abyssal. That's why I'm here. But I never wanted to team up with the Kitsune. Trust me, it just happened.
Not quite happy about this either.
Zenai kind of chuckles and she looks at the two of you. Like, Nyx's heckles are up a little bit, and Sylaris' tentacles also twitch a little bit as like the two of you are locking eyes, like. And again, this actually makes her laugh because now Zenai is starting to get a little bit drunk. She laughed again. It's different to the laugh that she had before with the flame. This one is much more controlled. Yeah, she laughs a bit and is like, okay. I wanted to ask all of you these questions because I wanted to know if I can trust you. I want to know a little bit more about you, because after today, I realized I can't keep doing this. It's been 60 years since I last saw a devil. The last one I killed was about 80 years ago, after I killed the one in the Valgul. So the devils have gone metaphorically underground. It was shortly after that when demons started appearing, their whole demon process. So they have very clearly become aware of the fact that I'm trying to drive them to extinction. And every time I get close to one, every time I am this close to finding one, they throw a demon in a populated area nearby me, and I have to go and sort that out. And I hate having a weakness, but I know that if I ignore the demon, then it's going to open up a different kind of weakness in my heart, and they're going to exploit that. For the past 30 years, I've been in a bit of a dead end, and I can't keep doing this anymore. I need a change of strategy. I need to change the rules of engagement here. I'm looking at the four of you and I'm thinking, I might have a plan for the four of you, but I don't know if you're interested.
It depends on your plan.
Well, it's not going to be entirely for my benefit. I'll put you there. I'm not taking advantage of you. I'm not a devil. She laughs as she takes another chug of her beer.
You just accused me of having plans with the devil. I don't know if I trust you anymore.
I was testing you, little one. And the truth is that I wasn't lying when I said that you might be part of a devil's plan without even realizing it. These creatures, these things, they scheme, they live to manipulate others. It gives them no greater pleasure than seeing a plan come together and watching the fireworks that results from that and the chaos. It's not entirely out of possibility that the very reason the four of you are standing here could very well be the work of a devil to begin with. And I mean that as no offense to any of you, but that is just the reality of what I've been dealing with for over 100 years now.
If that is the case, that just gives me even more reasons to hate them.
It's always almost impossible to prove as well because they're meticulous in how they operate. As you may have seen with Dr. Sue over there, she nods her head in the direction of where the charred remains of the demon is. Even the most kind-hearted of individuals can be deceived into one of their contracts. They have no clue. I spoke to Laura about it at length this evening, and it turns out that about 5 years ago, Dr. Sue suddenly became incredibly effective at treating others. So much so that some were calling her almost a miracle healer in how good her treatment was of people's injuries and sickness. So I'm suspecting that about 5 years ago, a devil may have passed by here and left a little bit of a ticking time bomb. We'll just say that. She sighs. They promise the world and they take everything.
What could have triggered that time bomb?
Me. I had caught wind of a devil on Tarnithia heading towards the Monkey King. And as I was passing by this town, I stopped to meet Laura. And then as I was heading towards the inner jungles, that's when I saw from the cloud line the burning spirit, which is why I turned around immediately and came right back to find the four of you standing up to a demon in which none of you were prepared for. If I hadn't showed up, the four of you would have been killed. As she slams her fist on the table. She's like, and that's why I want the four of you, and I am going to help you. I can train you. She takes another swig of her beer and she says, I have a sister who specializes in soul magic, and she has been working on something that would be of great benefit to all of you. So if you want in on this, you have not only a master swordsman who is willing to teach you, but you also have one of the most prestigious, talented seraphs in the academy with regards to magical development, who will likely help you. She laughed a little bit, be like, because I haven't spoken to her in 4 years. She takes another swig of beer. Now she's actually getting proper drunk. Like, you can see almost like a small tear forming on like her eye, but she rubs it away immediately.
Forget about the magic. If you promise me that you will teach me your martial arts,
And the other 3?
martial art techniques.
Speak for yourself, Sylaris. I would love to be able to control my magic.
Martial arts and magic?
Well, I can't guarantee the whole magic part, but I've never known my sister to not say no to those in need. So she'll probably help you. It's just that I won't be in the room. She's looking into her beer mug now. She says that.
You two aren't close?
We were. And she's safe. She takes another sip.
Awkward silence.
Yeah. She's like, all right. And Spira, what about you?
I would always like to improve my skills, no matter if they are with bow and arrow or magic.
Well, on the combat side of things, I have all of you covered. So, and don't worry, I'm not a devil, so I'm not using you on this. It's just all 5 of us have reason for dealing with whatever grand scheme is going on here, because my gut feeling is screaming at me that none of this is coincidental. I've been fighting these creatures almost my entire life. So if there's anyone here who's an expert on how devils operate, it would be me. My gut feeling says that there's something far more at play here. So I want to help you, and I want you to help me. Sounds fair?
How can we help you? We were almost killed by a demon, so we are really not that good compared to you. So I don't really get it. What do you want from us exactly?
Sylaris, no one is good compared to me. she bites into a piece of bread.
Wow.
I like that confidence.
Damn.
I believe we can be good enough to do something.
They learn how to sword fight?
Tiny little sword fight, like a toothpick.
In the eye. You'll be great. Take out the eyes.
You can fight with a needle.
She looks at the needle that's around her waist.
So she says, okay, in that case, we'll head to the CTA tomorrow morning. The CTA is the Central Tarnithia Academy. Every single Seraph Academy is an acronym based on what part of the world they're in. So there's a Nerva for the Northeastern Vedantia Academy, which should be near the Pegasus's migration routes. She thinks to herself, it's been a long time since I went to the Nerva Academy. Anyway, yeah, we'll head to CTA tomorrow morning, or we can head there now. What do the 4 of you think?
We're supposed to go see the Monkey King.
Yeah.
That's going to take a while anyway, because each block is 250 kilometers, so you have 1,000 kilometers to travel to the CTA over here. This forest over here.
1,000 kilometers inland. Oh my
no.
god.
Do you want to leave now or in the morning? Which do you want to do?
In the morning, I
In the
think
morning, they were
I
all
will-
rested.
go and swim for the last time in the sea before we...
Okay.
I need sleep.
Spira has some emotions that she needs to play music to get out.
So yeah, there's a bonfire that's been set up, and the Thrope they're playing music as well. It's a mix of celebration and mourning because Dr. Sue died. They're playing a song to honor her, but they're also celebrating her life and her contributions. So the Thrope are choosing to focus on what she brought to the community. So everybody in this town who was healed by or treated by Dr. Sue is participating in this song and dance as well. And you can see Dr. Wolfenstein is also, despite his old age, is also trying to dance. He's doing like a grandpa dance.
Trying his
Spira is
best.
probably a bit more to herself because she kind of plays for herself and for her friends more.
Okay, so you want to just play on your own, like you can go back to the boat if you want. You can go anywhere you want.
Probably to the edge of the ocean, not on the boat, but a bit on her own, but still close-ish.
Laura's has arranged sleeping arrangements for you guys, so you'll stay in one of the spare houses for the evening at least. So yeah, there is bedding and food for you guys. Hyacinth, you wanted to do something?
I was gonna do part of singing and dancing.
Oh yeah, you can participate in the Thrope don't mind. The more the merrier. So you're a fae in the middle of this Thrope dance, song and dance. Composure roll for the fire.
Oh, god damn it!
You're perfectly fine. You're happily dancing.
+3.
Yep, the light of the fire is reflecting off of your white and silver wings, so it creates like a sparkling effect, which not makes you into a disco ball, but close enough.
Gold, I mean, what I don't understand.
Yeah, you're vibing with the thrope. Spira, you find a secluded place on the shoreline, and yeah, you can process. You can play on your. It was a
Ocarina.
ocarina, yes. So you're playing on your ocarina and processing everything that you've learned today, because it's been one hell of a day.
Yeah.
Next, what would you like to do?
Is it possible that I can like look out its like to sea for like a moment just to think about everything? Because it's been a lot.
Yeah,
But
but
then the thought of Jiro just body in the water somewhere, and thinking about how he probably would have liked to at least see some kind of dancing.
yeah, the music, seeing the Thrope celebrating Sue makes you realize that you haven't even had a chance yet to fully process and say goodbye to what happened to Jiro. So yeah, you can use this evening.
Especially
to-
since I seen his his stuff today from one of the sailors. Brought back old memories.
You find that the boat that you're on is mostly empty, except when you climb onto the boat to look out onto the ocean, because the boat is still docked, and this is where you last saw Jiro. So yeah, you return to the boat and you process everything that's happening, and you see Hadrian is having a swig of whiskey from a little portable canister that he has on him. He's on the edge of the boat, and he doesn't say anything, but he joins you and offers a drink, and the two of you just look out at the ocean without saying anything. He kind of got a feeling for what you brought here. He might be very laid back and whatnot, but he knows that somebody snuck aboard his ship. Like, he knows that there was more than one. So yeah, he knows about Jiro, and he offers you a drink and doesn't
I'd
speak
love to
about
take
it.
a drink.
So the two of you
Gladly take that drink. I need it right now.
the two of you silently drink and just stare out at the ocean. It's not a full moon, don't worry. But yeah, Hadrian is not a man of the land, so he prefers to spend all his time on his boat. So Jareth is in town, but Hadrian is always on his boat. It is now Sylaris. What would you like to do? Would you like to go swimming?
Go for a swim. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a whole day without being in the ocean, so yeah, I can imagine you'd want to.
And who knows how many more days without water.
Yeah, that's true. You need lots of aloe vera to hydrate your skin. So okay.
Yeah, I know what you wanted to do, and I want to do that.
Okay. Yeah. So you go for a swim, and nothing eventful happens whatsoever. Nyx and Hadrian spot the two of you. So they spot you going to the ocean, but nothing looks out of place because an abyssal going into the water kind of makes sense, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So you get to have a nice, relaxing swim, and you soak it in because this might be the last time in a while. You return to land perfectly fine. Okay. It is the next morning now, and the four of you have gathered your things. Oktao, the Sonwu, approaches you guys and says, "Don't worry, it's going to take a good while for Prot to have my gift ready. And the Monkey King always has many, many parties. So when it's ready, I'll be leaving in about a month, before the next full moon. So if you're not back by the next full moon," he thinks about it for a moment. He scribbles down on a piece of paper, and he's like, if you can't get back here by the next full moon, it'll take me about 2 weeks to get here. And he hands you a scribbled note that is the outline of Tarnithia. He places an X by this river mark, so south of the CTA, the Central Tarnithia Academy. So yeah, basically you guys can meet him by going straight south down to over here rather than going all the way back. Okay. So then, you see Zenai leaving Laura's house in the morning, and she's holding her head a little bit from drinking so much the previous evening, but she's putting her coat on and she's buttoning it up, and she's exactly how when you first saw her, fully clothed and ready for business again. She heads over to you guys, and she has a backpack with her, and she explains that whenever she stops by Oppa, she tends to leave her things here with the town mayor so that she can travel unburdened by all of her possessions that she needs. She opens up the bag and takes out a strange looking, it's hard to describe, it's almost like a rectangle, but Okay.
I never think.
I didn't say anything.
You notice that there is markings that are scratched into the top of this, and when she opens it up, it unfurls. So each of these are layers, and as she releases a pin that's holding it together, she pulls the pin out, and all of these different slots, because there's many, many, many layers to this, unfurls and forms, so it opens up like a fan would, and creates a large circle around all of you, like around the group. So it unfurls kind of like that, and each point of the furl has like the spiky part on it. So each spike has a different symbol carved into it, and she instructs everybody to stand in the center of this circle. Do you want to actually do this, or are you gonna be difficult?
Spira's gonna do it. She's gonna tuck her wings in very tight because she's kind of uncomfortable.
Oh, Hyacinth's gonna hold on to Sylaris and do what she wants.
Yeah.
Her foot in.
Zenai looks at Laura and says, "It's about to become winter here. I do apologize for that." And Laura says, "No, I understand the need for this." And Zenai unfurls her 4 wings and flies up into the sky. You guys can barely see her from how high she's flying. However, you notice that it starts to snow. She's gathering spirits at a much higher altitude so that she doesn't turn the entire town into ice. When she comes back down from the sky, she is holding a stone that looks like a claw, but it's got the same visual quality of a diamond. It's a diamond claw. So she's holding this claw-shaped diamond, and it is glowing with a golden hue to it. And she can see that some of you are kind of curious about what's going on, and she decides to
Glowing.
yeah, and she says, "Well, some of you may know a little bit about dwarven technology and how they're powered by their runes are powered by wild spirits." Hyacinth, you float over and hug the diamond.
Glowing.
Shiny.
I just picked her up with my tentacles and placed her back on my shoulder.
So dwarven technology usually only works in their cities because they build it on ley lines. This is why dwarves covet gemstones so badly, because gemstones can be used to store wild spirits inside of them. Know of a process in which I can use my wings, which naturally collects wild spirits, and can transfer it to stones, which allows me to use this portation device.
Oh, thank God, we are not going to travel through the land.
Yes, however, it took a lot of effort for me to get hold of this. The dwarves did not want to let an outsider get hold of this kind of technology. But the very reason why I managed to get hold of this is the same reason why I possess one of these. She plops the diamond claw up and down, like, you know when you're holding a bag of money and you chuck it up and down a little bit? So it's the same reason why I got one of these.
Let me guess, the former owner is not alive anymore, right?
No, but the imps, even after the curse of humanity, the imps really do enjoy the taste of dwarves. So the dwarves and the imps are often fighting each other, and the imps possess claws made of diamonds. So, yeah, this is an imp claw that I have imbued with wild spirits, which should theoretically power this device. Normally, I always fly by myself because I don't need it, but I got hold of one of these because I thought it would be useful for transporting people who are not me.
I don't like the sound of theoretic.
Well, don't worry, I'll be joining you, so whatever
You
happens, it happens together. She floats down into the circle with you guys. She takes the last plate on this portation device and she swaps out the runes, and she says, "I'm not an expert on dwarven runes, but the guy that I got this from ensured me that as long as I swap out these ones, it should take us to where I want us to go."
It should.
Oh God, what the hell?
So she takes the diamond claw and uses it to connect the last piece of the portation device to the first piece. So it completes the circle, which forms a completed circuit. The wild spirits within the diamond starts to vibrate, and you see all of the runes start lining up sequentially from the first one all the way to the last one. As it's reaching the last one, you can feel a tremor in the ground beneath your feet as if a mini earthquake is happening, and all of the hairs on your body stand on end. So Nyx's tail becomes super floofy. Spira, your
Just turn
hair...
into a poof.
Spira's hair starts raising up as well. And as the final rune starts to fill, immediately all of your ears get that popping sensation when you fly too high in a plane. All of your ears get that pressure, that sudden pressure feeling, and all of the air inside of your lungs feels like it compresses for a second, and there is a flash, immediately followed by the 5 of you slamming against the wall. Give me a stamina check.
I take back my previous comment. I still prefer traveling on land, not in the air.
What the hell?
Nobody gets actually injured by this. The 5 of you slam into what feels like a wall. However, there's nothing in front of you. You guys are in the middle of you're at the top of a mountain range, and there is a large tower beaming in front of you guys. It's huge. We're talking about 100 meters wide and almost skyscraper level in height. It's built of stone. However, you guys slammed into a wall that was about 100 meters as well away from it. When you look at the tower, you see at the base of the tower, because of the sheer size of the tower, it makes this look very small, but you see a stone-skinned dragon sleeping at the base of the tower. The dragon the dragon wakes up immediately and looks at the 5 of you with one eye open. And Zenai is also somewhat confused as she puts her hand out and feels as she pushes against it, she is able to immediately plop through. What do the 4 of you do?
Can I try that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all of you are able to walk through relatively effortlessly. It's a strange sensation. It feels almost like you're popping a bubble, but as soon as you put physical resistance against it, you fall through. Zenai also grabs the portation device and puts it into her bag.
Question.
Yes?
Do I know what this is?
No, it's different.
Oh.
It doesn't have that ink-like effect. That water paints effect. As Zenai walks forward towards this dragon, it slowly gets itself up onto all its 4 legs and positions itself with its shoulders raised up as it lowers its head towards Zenai, and you can all feel a deep rumbling growl. Give me perception rolls. Yeah. Hyacinth. Yeah. Hyacinth and Spira notice from this distance that the dragon has scars all over its face. It has scars all over its jaws and its snout and everything. It's got stone-colored skin and has lots of little miniature brown horns that ridge along its face and across its back and everything. It raises its wings out as if it's preparing itself to take off. It opens its jaw, but you don't see mouth movements, but you can hear its voice in your heads as it speaks. In a deep voice,
Zenai, you're not welcome. You know this.
I am fully aware, but there is something that needs to be done. I need to speak to her.
No.
Zenai smiles a little bit when the dragon denies her this. As she puts her hand on the blade of the hilt, you notice that a orange light starts to glow between the scales of the dragon itself. There is an intense standoff between Zenai and this dragon.
We here.
I
Is
regret
everything
my-
okay? Maybe we should have walked.
Yeah.
He sighs and a puff of smoke comes out as he goes,
I don't want another scar on my face after this.
as he backs down a little bit, and he looks at Zenai once more and he says,
But even if I let you in, Arista is still not going to talk to you.
Zenai says, I understand that, but I'm not here to talk to her. My friends are. He laughs and he goes,
You have friends?
Oh,
It only took you 100 years, Zenai.
she also laughs and she'll say, I've always wanted some dragon skin boots as well. And he says,
Well, it wouldn't be any skin off my nose. You already removed half of it.
as you can see that she's responsible for all the scars on his face. He starts walking towards the 4 of you and stares down at all of you with his eyes. He's huge, by the way, absolutely huge. So give me a composure check, all of you.
roll for composure. I
Yes.
knew it.
Free.
I'm very scared.
Understandably.
And look at that 20.
What?
And Lily just like, hi.
Nice. Spira is trembling uncontrollably and is on the verge of passing out. And the dragon looks at you and
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've done this.
you see the glowing between his scales starting to intensify even more. And you get the impression that based on what you've heard from the stories of what dragons can do, you get the impression that the 4 of you are about to get cooked alive.
But my fur.
I am undeterred.
The orange glow that was coming between his scales starts to spread to the rest of the scales itself. So the energy pulls, and his body begins to shrink and begins to transform. And he turns into a dark-haired man with scars all over his face and golden eyes. And he looks at you with a normal voice now, and he speaks and he goes, "My name is Rox."
I knew it! I knew it!
Oh, he can hold a sword.
He fought Zenai in her prime and lived. Hello there, I'm Rox. Are you guys really friends with Zenai? Because I've known her for the past 4 years, and let's just say she's not exactly the friend-making type.
We met her yesterday.
I knew it. I knew it.
She saved my life! I think that means we're friends.
So yeah, it's much more calm now, as he's now in his humanoid form. He's quite tall. He's about 6 foot tall. He's got long, dark brown hair, and it's quite messy. But you can see that he feels very awkward in this because he's very much aware of how bad the scars are on his face. So he prefers to stay in his dragon form most of the time. However, he saw how terrified Spira was and decided that it would be less scary to see his humanoid form than his full dragon form.
Oh.
Nice drag.
You're a very nice dragon.
So he turns around to the Zenai and he says, "So you promise you're not going in, but these 4 will. Then I'll allow it." And she shrugs a little bit and is like, "I knew that was going to happen. But yes, that's why I brought them." So Rox allows the 4 of you to pass by, and he approaches Zenai and he says, "What is going on? What is your plans this time? What crazy fight are you trying to start now?" And Zenai says, "Just like all of them." And he goes, "Ah, I see. Well, as long as you stay away from Arista, I'm fine." And he goes back towards the entrance of the tower, and he gestures to let the 4 of you in. He says, "I'll take you to her." Do the 4 of you follow?
While I'm
Yeah,
following,
but
can I whisper something to Sylaris?
Yep.
It's
What?
really weird that he's letting strangers in, but he doesn't let
A sister in?
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You can ask him about this as he's leading you up the stairs, because it's going to be a bit of a long climb. This is a skyscraper without elevators, so you guys have plenty of time to talk.
Can you ask him for me? I'm a bit shy.
You rolled a
You
nat
would
20. What
least-
do you mean?
the least intimidated.
You're not even scared of him!
If anyone here is scared, it should be Spira, who's just like, "I don't want to go into a building with a dragon."
Okay.
Yeah. I would much rather fly up there, far away from everybody.
You can. Zenai hears you say this, and Zenai says, "You can actually. These towers, these Seraph towers, are built for us winged folk. So if you fly up, I believe my sister should be... Rox, what floor is she on?" And he goes, she'll probably be in her study, which is on the 58th floor. Yeah, we got a long climb." He says,
Okay, we
my
have
God.
3 winged. We have 3 winged individuals here. Seriously, someone just get us up there.
he transforms back into his dragon form,
Thank you.
and he's like, "I can give you a lift if you'd want."
Yes, please. I never
I
rode
can fly on my
dragon.
own.
With a beat of his wings, he takes off, and you see Zenai is standing at the base of the tower. And again, she's showing off not showing off, but her body language shows the same emotions that you felt when the townsfolk were thanking her as well. As he flies,
Can I ask him while we are flying, what is this all about, these 2 siblings? Why can't Zenai just enter?
Well, that's up to Arista, really. I'm not going to go into the details of a family feud, but there was an incident involving my best friend, and he's no longer around anymore because of Zenai. In order to honor my best friend, I'm taking care of Arista.
because Arista is no longer talking to Zenai after what happened 4 years ago, even though Zenai, the whole reason Zenai attacked that other Seraph was to protect her. Yeah. So yeah, the 4 of you reach the 58th floor, and you see that every 10 floors there is a landing pad for a Seraph to go in. So he takes you up to the 60th level, and there's still several more above this even more. It's a large tower.
Oh my God.
But yeah, he lands. Well, no, it's too big for a dragon. So he would hover near the entranceway and let you slide off his back onto the edge. He'll transform back into his humanoid form once everybody is on the ground. He does sigh a little bit. He's like, "You have no idea how exhausting that is to go back and forth between forms like this." He's like, "I am going to have a very good nap tonight.
Poor guy.
I'm happy here." You know, it's given me a sense of purpose. He leads you down towards the 58th floor. He knocks on the door and you hear you hear sounds of things falling over as books and metal equipment and things knock over to the floor as somebody scurries over to open the door very quickly, who wasn't expecting guests.
So is this place like a proper academy, like
Yes, there are
populated with people?
There are a couple of seraphs that you see walking around, but most of them are focused on what they're doing and none of them want to interrupt rocks. When a dragon is leading people around, most of the seraphs don't want to bother you guys.
Even if it's an abyssal and a kitsune.
Yes.
And the Pegasus.
Everyone
They must have business.
everyone in this tower knows who Rox is. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
So he's leading you guys, and you see some Seraph are looking at you like, wow, it's impressive that you guys can even breathe at this height. So a little snooty, but not rude. Just a little bit like, oh, wow, okay, well, I'm not getting involved with that. So he knocks on the door, and you hear the sounds of something scuffling as a very soft voice calls out saying, I'm coming. You know, just a moment. And when the door opens, you see this girl with blue long hair and a winter coat on, and she opens the door, and she's about 4 foot tall, so she's very short for you guys, because Seraph are actually quite short. You know, 5 foot is very tall for a Seraph, so she's about mid-height. So yeah, she opens the door, and she looks at you. She's like, "Hi, I'm Arista. What are you doing here, Rox? Can we come inside first before we go down?" She's like, of course. Would any of you like some tea or some coffee or some biscuits? I have some biscuits around here somewhere. She looks at the pile of books and notes and everything in the study area. I'm sure they're still good.
So many books.
Isn't that stale?
Yep, so the 4 of you go inside, and you can see a lot of these books are handwritten penned by the same author. She is a hard worker.
God.
There's a lot of strange equipment and strange writings. You notice something similar to runes, like the runes on the device that Zenai used, but other scribbles that are completely different. So all of it is alien to you guys. However, she has started a little fire that's underneath a teapot and is boiling some tea. And she's like, so who wants some tea? Tea or coffee, anyone?
It's fresh. I'll take some tea.
Oh my goodness, a fae! Oh, she runs over and she crouches down a little bit and she offers both of her hands to you with her hands open so that you can hop into her hands. She's like, hello there, little one, hello!
Jumps in her hand.
And she holds up, as she swings you around in her hand as she lifts you up to get like a better look with the light. And she's like, I've actually never met a fae before, but... And she puts her other hand around the air as if she's stroking the air near you. And she's like, but it is true. The spiritual density around fae is unmatched. She was using sense spirits to gauge just how potent your soul is, how potent the spirits is that are coming off of your soul. And let's just say she's impressed. She immediately puts you down on the table where the tea sets are, and she pulls open a drawer and she's like, I have it here somewhere. And she digs in and she takes out the tiniest little tea set. Just, I knew this gift would come in handy one day. And yeah, somebody had gifted her a fae tea set. So she kept it in a drawer. And she's like, I knew this would come. And she wonders, like, she opens up another set of drawers and takes out a little water dropper, and she takes 1 drop of the tea that she prepares for you, everyone, and she splashes a single drop into your cup.
This is so adorable.
Yeah, she's like, there we go. If it's too hot, you can take your time. And she hands over the tea to everybody else, and she's like, so then, Rox, who? Okay, wait, this is so rude of me. I'm Arista Iclyn. And you are? All of you. She's just like, and everybody here?
I'm Spira from the Golden Strider Herd.
Ooh, a Pegasus. I am so sorry. I thought maybe you were another Seraph. I'm really sorry. You know, with the wings and all of that. And she pushes her. She rubs like the back of her head a little bit as she feels really embarrassed. She's like, I am so sorry. But you have wind magic and what was it again? And she opens up one of her notebooks and she goes, right, the call. Is it true that you can actually speak to the ghosts of your herd?
Yes, but it kind of depends on the situation. Like, if need be, I could call for kelpies as well. But
That's amazing.
it's kind of frowned upon to do that unnecessarily. So I have never tried it myself.
Oh, I didn't know that. And she starts scribbling in the book that she has on Pegasus. She's like, okay, so they have a cultural limitation on the use of the call. She's like, I have so many questions, but we have other guests here, but you and we're going to have a lovely chat about this because calling deceased souls, this is in line with my research. I'm so fascinated by this. I need the mechanics of how that could impact my research. Sorry. And you? And she offers a handshake to Sylaris. She's like, an abyssal?
Yes, I'm Sylaris from Eldra.
Oh, from Eldra. She goes, I'm not actually sure where Eldra is. I don't have many maps of the underwater. But how is your hometown? Is it nice?
For me, it is much better than land.
How do you see down there? It must the light from the sun shouldn't be able to reach down there. So how do you see at the bottom of the ocean?
So we have lava that illuminates the bottom of the ocean.
Oh.
And we use those.
Wonder what kind of glass that must be, because normal glass would melt under lava conditions. But it could be something to do with you. You're not an engineer, are you, by any chance?
No.
Dang. Well, if you ever come by again, could you maybe ask one of your builders about that? I would be fascinated to know. She's like, but also, sorry, the last one, Kitsune? As her hands twitch a little bit as she desperately wants to fluff your tail. Kitsune! She sees your scarlet tail and is just like, fluffy.
Then my ears perked up and I slowly back away because I could see she wanted to pet my tail.
So, is it true that your magic gets more powerful the more fluffy tails you have? She's like stepping towards you as well. For every step you take back, she's stepping forward.
Slowly. Yes, I slowly nod while backing away.
And she goes, I can actually sense that the majority of the spirits around your body is by your tails, in fact. So, in a sense, the Kitsune tails are similar to Seraph wings in the fact that they manifestation of the soul. She dives into her pile of books around the room and she's like, I have it here somewhere. And she's desperately looking for her books on the Kitsune.
Dives into like a pile of leaves.
Yeah.
She's just like...
Yeah, you lose sight of her, but you can see the books moving and the various things falling over. Rox has got his hands buried in his face as this is just an average day for him. She pulls out a book and it's very dusty, but you can see it has the Celestial Den traced on the cover of it. And she flips it open and immediately starts scribbling on the last blank page. So adding new notes to it. And she's like, it is a manifestation of the soul. She's like, but then hypothetically, the whole tail stealing abilities and cultures, I wonder if we could apply that to the Seraph. That would... She's scribbling it.
And then I'm just getting more concerned hearing it.
She's theory crafting.
But just stealing wings?
No.
Stealing tails?
No, she's more fascinated on the theoretical outcome of what would happen if Seraphs could transfer wings.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, she stands up and she closes the book and she does a little curtsy and she says, thank you all for your contributions to my research. And she's like, how can I help you?
I'm just completely stunned right now because I'm just confused of what just went on.
She's so cute. She's very happy now. You notice that Rox has actually gone and poured everybody else's tea because she completely forgot about it while focused on getting the questions from you. Hyacinth was the only one she made the tea for, and that was because she wanted to use the water dropper to
little tea set.
The little tea set, yeah.
So Hyacinth has her tea and she's...
All right, so does anybody have any questions for her?
You could sense spirits, right? Can you sense if something is wrong with mine?
Absolutely. And she skips over to you and she raises up her hands and she starts to concentrate a bit more. And she goes, huh. All of a sudden, a pair of wings appears behind her as only a single set of wings. So Zenai used 4 wings, but Arista only has 2. So these wings appear from her lower back, so the hip wings, because the Seraphs can go up to 6, but yeah, there are different levels of the spine, basically. So this is like the lower, not the bottom of the spine, but like lower mid.
My spine.
Yeah, my spine. So yeah, her wings, she takes out her wings, and all of you can now feel that that her own spirit are also concentrating in her hands as she is starting to wave it across the air in front of Spira. And as she reaches towards your right hand, at the wrist of your right hand, she stops for a moment and she closes her eyes, and you can feel her wincing a bit. And she says, I sense a poison. There's a burn? No. A poison? Venom? No. And her eyes open wide and she goes, a plague wraith? You got involved with a plague wraith? Her eyes, she's like shocked. 1, that you're alive, and 2, that a normal person would get involved with such a thing.
We managed to get away from it, but I need to find a way to get rid of this.
Very uncharacteristically, she turns around. Her wings are still out, but she walks very carefully this time and heads towards one of the shelves. She tries to reach for a shelf, but it's far too tall for her, so she stands on her tiptoes, but it's still not enough. Rox walks over and grabs one of the books from the top shelf and passes it to her, and she's like, thank you. And she turns around and heads back. You see that this is a book that's in a different writing style, so it's not hers. And she opens it, and you can see that there's a lot of detailed drawings that are a bit not horrific, but they depict scenes of tragedy. You can see people that are starving, that plague, that you can see farms that have been consumed by swarms of locusts. And in the center of this art piece inside of this book is that thing, that horrific creature with a missing lower jaw, with a gaping hole for an esophagus and sunken eyes, and a black-gray mist emanating from its bony body. And she says, was it this?
Spira winces a bit and nods.
She's like, that is a problem. The plague wraiths only occur during moments of great tragedy, and I need to know everything about what happened there. I know it might be painful, but I can't work without information. Do you want to tell her the whole story? We can time jump it, but yeah, it's up to you.
Basically the whole story from landing, not the spider thing before, but
Okay. So Spira begins recounting a story that the four of you can also hear, and Spira describes the day where Spira and her 2 friends fell into a forest, and in this forest there was a plague wraith that he breathed a horrific poisonous gas that touched the legs of one of Spira's friends, and it seems that gas, that horrible cloud, may have also reached Spira's wrist as well. So Spira's, when you mention this, Arista gasps and puts her hand over her mouth, and she says, and your friend, what happened to them?
He's alive.
He is? That's and she flips through the book and she goes, no, that shouldn't be possible. Well, sorry, I'm
Do you mean it shouldn't be possible?
Plague wraiths are the manifestation of the suffering of starvation and the brutality of conflict between people that are starving. So the kind of damage that they can do to one's soul theoretically, it should be a kind of poison that is, if your friend has been alive after all these years, then there's a possibility that he could still be cured. Normally,
cure him.
Yeah, normally someone who's been touched by a plague wraith dies shortly afterwards. But you said that it was the gas, not the physical body itself. She gets up and she walks across the room and she opens a little treasure box. She takes out a key that was on a necklace around her, and she opens up this little treasure box. She says, I don't have much of this left, and this was a gift from a friend. And she takes out what looks like a little piece of tree bark, but it's less than the size of the nail on your pinky finger. It's a tiny little piece of wood. And she says, this is unicorn horn. and it was a gift from a friend, and I've been using it in my research very sparingly. But there is a possibility it could either delay or cure your friend. However, it's not as simple as just letting them eat it, as many people misunderstand. You will not believe how many people think that just eating a unicorn's horn will cure them of everything. It's much more complicated than that. You need to process it. You need to understand what you're combining it with. It's not a one fixed wonder as everybody has been led to misunderstand. But I could help. I can help your friend.
Thank you. That would be wonderful.
She is willing to travel to where your friend is on Verdantia and try and see if she can use her research knowledge to help develop a cure for him. So Arista is offering to travel all the way to where your friend is staying to see if they can come up with a cure.
Arista is a treasure. Arista is a national treasure.
Yeah. New best friend.
Protect at
She's
all
so
costs.
sweet.
Yeah. However, we have been going for almost 2 hours, so I'm going to call it here. Next week's session, we will be doing a training session. So you're going to train with Arista and Zenai to get quite a power boost to your characters. And trust me, you're going to look forward to it. Yay. But the next episode should be right here. Thanks for watching.